What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Monarch, Legacy of Monsters Season 1. As of right now, the only season. We'll see if this series gets renewed. Of course, this is the first TV series from Legendary regarding the MonsterVerse that we know with Godzilla and King Kong, made by Hollywood over the last 10 years. And this is a series that, through its conclusion, I'd say I enjoyed this series. I am definitely a MonsterVerse fan, so I was very willing and open to more time in the MonsterVerse, as it were. And this is a series I think that has a lot of room for improvement in season 2, despite how much I did enjoy my time with season 1. I'll be curious if we get that second season, because Monarch season 1, I think, was kind of a victim of being forced to service some retcon and some continuity backfilling, but also restrained by its existing continuity within the MonsterVerse, right? Just put simply, Monarch, its present day timeline is actually taking place in the aftermath of Godzilla 2014, the first film in the MonsterVerse, right? The best film in the MonsterVerse. People know it. Banger movie. And there's other timelines, right? There's other things going on. There certainly references the Kong Skull Island from 2017. The thing, though, is we're spending all this time with this story, this present day timeline, where the Titans monsters have not emerged into regular occurrence the way they do in Godzilla King of Monsters and continue with Godzilla versus Kong. Monarch is still not a public facing organization, agency, the way it is by the time you get to Godzilla King of Monsters. So we're spending all this time in basically prequel land, right? It's not serving as a tie-in or lead-in to Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire, coming out this March. So it's kind of for the heads, right? It's for you just gotta be a MonsterVerse person to be into it, I guess. And I think that's interesting. I'd be curious if they greenlight a second season. Are you going to jump ahead of several more years, probably switch up the cast a little bit, and put us post Godzilla X Kong? That would make the most sense to me, unless you truly are just going to greenlight the show for a while and can afford for it to be a more prequel-y thing. It's certainly an expensive show, lavish production, a lot of locations, etc. So we'll see about that. But for what you get, I think certainly the past timeline stuff, basically the origins of the Monarch agency, that's the most fun stuff to me. Spending time with Wyatt Russell as younger Lee Shaw, as well as Anders Holm as younger Bill Randa. Of course, that's John Goodman's character from Kong Skull Island, as referenced at the beginning of the series, and also Mary Yamamoto as Kiko. And I think all that's probably the best stuff about it, because the present day stuff does not do a good job of advocating for what Monarch does well or what Monarch's purpose is. And as a result, some of the conflict, towards the end, towards the finale, right, where it's Monarch doesn't want to go and try and rescue anyone who might be in this nether realm here from the signal they detect, because they have to monitor the gamma rays for future Titan emergencies. And it's yeah, that sounds fine on its face, but we just don't really know what Monarch is doing per se. We spend all this time with the Randa family. We spend all this time with Shaw and his extracurricular, taking matters in his own hands type stuff. But Monarch itself, we just don't have a good feel for what it serves to do. And perhaps the finale, where we get introduced to Apex again on Skull Island, and maybe that's a reference to the construction of Mechagodzilla, Godzilla X Kong versus Kong. But again, we're still talking a movie ago. I don't know. But I really enjoyed Keiko and Bill and Lee. I like their dynamic. I like the early Monarch stuff. I think the scene towards the middle of the beginning of the season, I guess the middle of the season, where we watch them drop the bomb at Bikini Atoll on Godzilla, that is riveting stuff, kind of classic Godzilla, origin story. Really fun. And then the revelation later on to them when they realize that Godzilla is not actually dead. Spoiler alert, right? I like all that. I think the stuff with the Randa kids, Anna Sawai as Kate, and then her half-brother played by Ren Watabe, Kentaro, and then Kintaro's former girlfriend May by Kiersey Clemens. Like that stuff's certainly up and down. Like, I just don't think the material is like that interesting in general. Like I was saying, I don't think that present day material is just as fun. Like I think Kurt Russell's pretty great on the show as Older Lee, and I was not surprised to see him get axed at the end in the finale. It makes sense that you wouldn't. The Russells, both Kurt and Wyatt, wouldn't sign on to like stay on the show. So I get it. But as soon as like that hatch opened up, I was like, yeah, okay, Lee's gonna sacrifice himself, lock it in. But I think like the reunion with Keiko in that finale, that was like really moving and heartwarming because that's actually like really like developed, right? Like you're really interested, I think, in that, and like that's paid off, that's earned. Whereas the stuff with Kate and Kentaro's father, so that's Keiko's son. What's his name? Hiroshi, is it? Yeah, Hiroshi Randa. Hiroshi Rand is like his motivations in general, what he's actually doing, like outside the Monarch fold, and then the fact that he was like a shitty, like secret double dad, like I don't know, like those beats didn't quite land as much for me. I think when we get the kaiju stuff, it's pretty fun. Ultimately, it's a show that can't show you too much kaiju stuff, but I think the moments you do get it is really done well. Again, like it's excellent CGI as we expect from the MonsterVerse. So like, I think this is like it's inessential viewing for the MonsterVerse, but it is pretty fun to spend time with. And like I said, I think there's great potential for season 2 to kind of refocus and hopefully like be a connective tissue in the future versus kind of be a retconny, right? Like, because we were really like spending time with the past with this, like Kate being on that school bus that we see fall off the Golden Gate in Godzilla 2014, and of course surviving that. Like, that's like heavy retcon, right? Which is cool, I suppose. But yeah, Monarch Legacy of Monsters, not bad. I think it's pretty intelligent. I think it's done. It's not like super hammy or anything, but it's also a bit convoluted and muddy. And maybe if it was just a bit more down the middle and fun kaiju hijinks, maybe that's just broadly more entertaining. Who can say? But yeah, I'm hopeful for a second season, and certainly a MonsterVerse fan. Very much looking forward to the new movie. I'll be reviewing that when that comes out at the end of March. So let me know, what did you think of Legacy of Monsters? Did it stick the landing for you? Were you overall satisfied with it? If not, let me know either way. And for more TV reviews, movie reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.